Hey everyone, this is Tara Furiani.
And I'm Justin Boggs.
And you're hanging out with Not the HR Lady,
a web series about all things people.
No BS. Look, HR is not a four-letter word.
And this is not the HR Lady. I still get hyped with that every time. I forget that we record sometimes. It just gets me going.
I was just smiling like so big that I don't know that I can control it right now.
Why?
Because of that, just that. Like, I was pretty excited. Like, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Mm-hmm. You know? This has been something that I've been actively working toward. I've written a book that I haven't published yet, but I've done all this.
We need to get on that.
I know. I've done a lot of stuff in preparation for like this very moment. And then we had this awesome opportunity to launch the show at HR Transform, which adds like a lot of legitimacy to what you're doing, right? Like somebody else thinks you're pretty good at what you do. So much so that they're going to like give you a cabana and help you announce it to everybody because they think it's cool. And
then COVID-19.
And then COVID-19 happened. And but we still launched it because this show must go on.
Must go on.
Yeah, it's real fucking good timing.
Yeah. Fuck. Just terrible timing.
I know.
But we're still doing it.
We are.
Getting up every day, putting our pants on, or jammers.
I mean, like what?
Or jammers.
Yeah, mostly jammers. Like your dad pants.
My dad pants.
You had those on up until like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I mean, same.
Working
I'm not trying to call you out.
Putting my pants. It's pajama day every day when you're working from home.
Every day. So when we started this thing at the beginning of the pandemic, we were all like, okay, like what the hell does this mean? Okay, like cool. We know it's bad. We hypothesized a lot. Mm-hmm. I think I hypothesized a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we all had our own take on what this could be, if it was a hoax or how bad it could actually get. And
I was pretty sure we were sending Bruce Willis to space. Like it had to be something crazy, like Deep Impact or Armageddon or like something like that where there's something about to hit us or something. Because I mean, think about it. Like the government was all like, hey, you guys, go be with your families. Like most people, like a lot of people, let's be honest, right? And then the people who did have to work because they can't just shut grocery stores. That's when people fucking lose their minds. We saw the toilet paper situation. When people realized that was cool, they're like, okay, cool. They're not closing down grocery stores. They're going to leave that shit open. We just can't go together. But it's like...
You just can't take the whole family.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And you got to wear a mask because you can't talk to people or have expression. I don't know. Like, it's weird. But like...
We did find something cool out.
Yeah.
You can tell people to fuck off with these masks on.
Yeah.
And they can't see you.
Actually, there was a meme about it.
In your breath. Like, you got to say, like,
fuck off.
And it's beautiful.
But if you have a mask on, think about it.
It's beautiful.
I just told you 3 times. You didn't even know. I mean, like, the government was like, go home, be with your families. And hey, if you're a frontline worker, we're going to give you extra money. And hey, all of America, we're just going to give you extra money too. Like for me, and I'm not Alex Jones conspiracy theorist, okay? But I do question a lot. I mean, it's just the nature of who I am. I'm a person who doesn't just accept whatever it is that you're telling me. Like I got to fact check you because I just want to make sure. Like how do you know what you know, right? I need to know what you know, and then we can get into a whole philosophical debate about that.
I'm
but
the same way. I want to know how you got to your conclusion.
Exactly. What do you know and how do you know it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel the same way.
So like when the government who refuses to give people health care, who literally can't pay a living wage to anybody, who I could go on. And I'm not talking about this administration. That's where I'm not trying to get political. I'm just saying what it is. The government as a whole.
Yeah.
Like we don't have living wages. Like how many people out there have a parent who is on Social Security income? Because I do. And I'll tell you what, that is not enough for my mother to live. Now,
yeah, if they're supposed to pay for rent and all their medications.
Yes, like Medicare fucking pharmacy.
Food.
My mom falls in the donut hole. We spend over $3,500 a year on her insurance. I pay for that. I am very blessed and fortunate and lucky and smart and talented and all the things. So I'm going to give myself credit. I'm not just going to like claim a higher power. Like, I'm lucky that I'm able to do that for her. There's not a lot of people out there who have kids that are like that.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people out there who can do that. My mom doesn't have a spouse. My dad passed away. So, like, I'm just saying, I have a lot of opinions, as it probably seems at this point. But, like, the government's out there telling you, here's some cash. Go home with your families. Don't worry about what the coronavirus might cost you. We're going to pay for it. Like, one, I call bullshit. Two,
we got you.
Yeah, like, we got you. We're going to sign that note. It's fine. We're co-signing. We're a guarantor. We got real good credit. Like,
we have terrible credit as a country.
As a country, we're like bringing up like 400, I would say. Like, how many days past due are we? I don't know. Is that a number?
I don't know.
I'm not going to get into that. That's like, again, that's like another thing that could just derail me about our country's economic situation. But potentially, there could be like a comet coming at us, right? Like, I think worst case scenario, and I think a lot of moms and a lot of parents and a lot of people out there are like, what the fuck is this, right? So your brain goes to the craziest. Now, everybody, tell me if I'm wrong. Your kid is late from anything. Your husband, your spouse, your partner, your wife, your significant other. They're late from something. Are they dead? And look, I'm not trying to be gender biased, but I'll say what I am.
Yeah, they're dead in a ditch somewhere.
They're dead in a ditch. You're freaking out. And I'll tell you what, the older you get, the fucking worse it gets. All of a sudden, everything is a goddamn catastrophe.
Are you talking about Atlas?
I'm talking about Atlas.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, all of a sudden, I'm a science nerd. You're a science nerd. We love
big
this.
Science nerd.
Huge science nerd.
Love astronomy. Mm-hmm. Love it.
I like astrology probably more, but I mean, same difference. I mean, there's stars. That's what they're based on. No.
I mean, astrology is based on the stars.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's enough. Hey, look at astrology is based on the stars. It's basically astronomy. What?
The alignment and everything.
I was just reenacting like I was being our president. I know I'm not Alec Baldwin. I'm sorry, but like I just told you what it was.
Have the
I don't have
puckered lips. I don't have it either.
Oh, that was really good. Actually, I don't have it.
I couldn't see what I was doing because I don't think he can see what he's doing.
Astrology is basically the stars.
I was actually pretty intrigued by Atlas.
Tell me about it.
Because
you freaked me the fuck out about it.
On accident. I'm just telling you, like, oh, there's a comet that's like we haven't seen in a very, very long time. It's got like an orbital period of like 6,000 years. I
don't even know what half of what he said was, but like he was like, hey babe, did you know like there's this comet and da 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 da? And like look at again, not meaning to be gender biased, but like I have a lot of girlfriends. We've all talked about this, and every fucking one of us agreed. When he said that to me, I was like, oh my God, like it's that moment. It's that moment where Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis and, oh my God, the guy from the Green Mile. What's his name? He passed away. That makes me sad. Steve Buscemi, obviously. A lot of other people. Like, I was like, we're going to have to assemble the troops.
We're going to have to get everybody together.
Those offshore drillers from Texas, and I'm so happy I live in Texas.
I didn't mean to scare you. I was just telling you about, like, hey,
my mental health is struggling. Have you learned nothing from this show?
Yes, I have. Like, that it's actually supposed to be, like, super bright in the sky, and, like, it's actually going to be, like, a spectacle, like, we could see. And you immediately went down that rabbit hole of like, oh, it's headed towards us.
Oh, it's
and they're
gonna
just
hit
not
us.
telling us.
Yeah.
It's deep impact. That's what this is.
Yep. There's a little baby Elijah Wood somewhere.
No. Like, it's not even close to us. Like, it's not even going to be in our area. We'll just be able to see it. It'll be bright and it'll be beautiful. And then right when it got around the sun, it like broke into like 3 or 4 different pieces. And I was like, motherfucker.
They were at my
none of which are still
theory.
Headed in our direction. Like it's not that.
I'm a hell of a sci-fi writer.
Yeah,
I mean
that story's been written 1,000 times.
I know, but in a better way.
Like, just how shitty would that be? Where like the end of the world is Contagion and Deep Impact.
I mean, could you imagine?
Right? Like, just
they're like,
come
on. So the story is Armageddon. The story is Deep Impact. Whatever. So let's just throw the story over to Contagion and hope that nobody ever watched that. Because did anybody?
I think once this happened, everybody fucking watched that movie.
It's going to become like a cult classic. People are like, you want to know what COVID-19 was?
You want to know what 2020 was like? Watch this 2008
That's Nostradamus.
movie.
That's Nostradamus right there. Who is the filmmaker? I don't even know. I'd have to Google it really quick.
I don't know. We'll
Whoever
figure it
the filmmaker was for Contagion. I'm going to look it up. Contagion writer. I don't know who they are. Like, I need to know. Scott Burns.
So he's the one writing the script for 2020.
I want to know what Scott Burns knows is what I'm talking about. Okay,
what other movies can we talk about?
You know, I've got a couple. I was thinking about the very first episode that we had. And like, we talked and equated where we were then, which was the very beginning of this pandemic. Mm-hmm. We equated to like the boring part of Independence Day. I talked about that, you know, Randy Quaid's daughter and like that guy and like him saying if she wanted to be a virgin and all that.
And I was just talking about it being Groundhog's Day.
And then you were just saying about Groundhog's Day. We talked about the Twilight Zone.
A little bit, yeah.
Like it's 420, which is why I have on my
Dogg.
Snoop shirt. And I'm from just outside of Long Beach in a little town called La Palma, California, which is on the border of Orange County, LA County. And I love Snoop Dogg. And that's my jam.
That's your dog.
And since it's 420, I was like, you know what the perfect movie for today is? Like with everything that's going on right now. And I told you, and it was Friday. And you were like, what? And I was like, yeah, because think about it. Like there's this quote that's like, look I know you don't smoke weed, but you ain't got no job. And you ain't got shit to do. And I'm like, oh my God, that's all of us right now.
Everybody right
everybody.
Now. Yeah.
And like whether it's weed or like drinking or exercising or like whatever your jam is, right? Like everybody's doing whatever that is in like to excess. And it's like, whatever. We ain't got no job. We ain't got shit to do. We don't know what's going on. I'm just saying, like, it is 420 and we made breakfast tacos. Like elevated breakfast tacos, chorizo, eggs. I posted it on Instagram. Potatoes,
charred veggies.
Absolutely. But then we paired it with a rosé, and it wasn't even like noon yet. And you know what?
It was fucking great. Why not? Why not pair some beautiful leveled up tacos with some rosé?
Yeah.
At 11. I mean, it was brunch, so you can have some rosé at brunch.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I guess that's true. If you can have champagne, you can have rosé. It was a dry rosé, not bubbly. It was good.
So what's the next movie? What's going to be the next
one?
Next movie that we fall into in this pandemic?
I mean, I feel like, do we go back to Independence Day and the aliens finally show up? We're at the end of any disaster movie, so pick whichever one.
Or middle. Who knows? Like,
right, I don't know.
It
feels really like, weird. We're not there yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we're on the cusp. Like the music is getting ominous at this point. We know some shit's about to go down. Yeah. Stop saying that. Don't say apex. Don't say PPE.
Why?
Don't say PPP. Don't say PPE. Don't say PPP.
I thought those are your favorite words.
I fucking hate those acronyms right now. That's all I'm just saying. Like,
well, I mean, they did just open up Georgia and Tennessee, so. Looking at you.
I'm pretty sure the zombies are coming. Isn't that what happened in The Walking Dead?
I think that's what happened.
I'm like, weren't they in Georgia? I'm pretty sure they were. And Tennessee. Yeah, they were. For clarity. Daryl's character, Tennessee. Rick and everybody else, Georgia. And then fucking Glenn was in Atlanta. So like, hello, people, stop. You're about to become zombies. And I'm just saying, like, I fucking told you.
Well, speaking of COVID-19, I do have a little bit of an update.
I want to hear about it.
So, President Donald Trump last week said that the government was trying to determine whether the virus came from like a lab or not.
That lab
right?
in Wuhan, right?
Yeah, the lab in Wuhan. And then the World Health Organization today.
The WHO.
Released a statement saying that the coronavirus definitely originated in animals.
Okay.
So that's kind of a good thing, I guess.
So it's basically like, just for clarity.
But it's also he said, she said.
Right.
What do they actually want to tell us?
Yeah.
And that a spokeswoman for the WHO, Fadela Chaib, she said it's probable that the virus is of animal origin. So it's also kind of like, It's from a lab.
Wow.
It's definitely not from a lab. Well,
I mean, we don't know.
plausible.
It
That's
could
not.
be.
That's not kind of what I want to hear when it comes to like.
No, I want to
this
hear
type of
100%
virus. 100%. It came from an animal.
Yeah.
Cool. I can like breathe a little easier knowing that like that doesn't happen very often. Cool, but like,
Yeah.
probably likely.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I want you to be sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to get a raise this year? Probably. I
Likely.
mean, it's likely.
You know, who knows?
Yeah, that's a no. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's a what?
Well, speaking
like
of money,
it.
I got a little stimulus update too.
Oh, tell me about the stimulate us, Jesse.
So seniors who filed last year because you have a job and you have income.
Hold on, let's take about I just want to go on a little tangent about it. Seniors who filed last year because your Social Security income isn't enough to give you a living wage despite the 50 or so years that you probably worked in the workforce, and now you still have to work even though you're retired. If you are one of those people, hey, Uncle Randy, hey, Aunt Leslie, I'm looking at you. Lots of other people, I'm sure. If you're one of those people, you've probably already received your refund. I don't mean to jack it. But if you're not one of those people who's taken a second job or can take a second job to support your income into a more living wage, I mean, do people even know that? I guess that's what I'm solving for. Do people even know how bad we treat seniors?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do unless they have someone in their life who is a senior.
Yeah. Until
Right?
it affects them personally.
Until it affects you personally.
They don't know.
My mother is multiple degreed, has owned many businesses, and
Great businesses.
A great
able
business.
to sell them. Like,
Absolutely. Had it not been for cancer with my father, and he passed away, would have had enough to live on in retirement. But despite the fact of having multiple businesses, employing lots of people, et cetera, she's now dependent on Social Security, which after my dad passed away, gave her $1,300 a month.
That's not enough.
When she falls into the donut hole long about April, which is where we're at right now, and Medicare is like, we've paid too much for you, and at this point, you're going to have to pay more. I start paying $800 a month for her insurance.
So that's where
for her, not
that's
her
where
insurance. I'm
I-
sorry, for
like,
her prescriptions.
Right.
For her prescriptions.
That's where I could go on a tangent about the drug companies. Like, why is this
100%.
30 pills $156 after insurance, but
look
the
to
actual
see-
total cost of it's like $600 for 30 of them?
Look to
Are
see
you
who's
fucking
invested
kidding
in
me?
those insurance and I'm sorry, not those insurance, but in those pharma companies. Look to see who's invested in big
But the
pharma.
U.S. has the highest pharmaceutical rates in the world.
I know, isn't it crazy?
It's ridiculous.
I know.
It's just people lining their own pockets.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, we could digress on the
Anyway,
topic of
yes.
seniors. However, if you're a senior who does file a tax return
Yes.
because you have to work to supplement your income or you want to or whatever, but probably because you have to, you probably have received it. If you
Yes.
haven't, you should definitely contact somebody.
Absolutely.
Now, if you didn't file,
Yeah. If you didn't file, thank you.
sorry.
If you didn't file last year because Social Security was your only source of income, don't worry. If you haven't gotten your check, it's probably going to be on the way. But the Treasury has to get a hold of the Social Security Department, and now they've got to talk in order for you to get your check.
So-
Because they've got to line up their paperwork.
So two government entities don't talk to each other.
No. Nobody talks to each other in government. Are you kidding me?
Coca-Cola.
No, not unless they have to.
Cool.
So don't worry if you don't have it yet. You will get your check, and if it may come late. I
Yeah.
mean, they said the latest like in July,
I'm
maybe
really-
late June, but
I'm really
you will
pissed
get some relief.
that my dead dad didn't get one, or my dead grandma. Like, I'm really upset. I know a couple people who've received dead people stimulus.
So do I. I just found out the other day. So
Well, my
it's
mom
like,
and
what?
my aunt checked their bank accounts, and my dad nor my grandmother received extra. Kicker, I was hoping for it. Like, my dad worked a lot, right?
Of course. I mean, even if they did, you knew they would find some way of like taking it back and or
Absolutely.
just charging
Fucking
you
you
with
somehow.
something. Yeah. Because that's what they want to do.
So On the topic of the coronavirus, there have been a number of protests that have happened that are happening today, yesterday, the day after, I'm sure for a while.
There's been protests?
Oh, can you believe it?
That's crazy.
Isn't that insanity?
I thought everybody was at home.
No. No, apparently, like, that's cool if you just go out and want to hold a rebel flag. Anyway, we went down here in Austin, if you can believe it, not to protest, but we stayed up with the media. And we had all the right and proper gear to keep us safe. We were at least, I'd say 50 yards, would you say, at a minimum, from the rest of the protesters. And we shot a video while we were there, so check it out.
Liberty in our paychecks, and that's why those people are here. Not for Alex Jones. Get that out of the media. We don't need to hear that. These are good Americans. We need to get back to work.
I hated that there were people there without shirts on.
They brought children.
Yeah.
There were children there, like babies.
It was a disgusting melting pot.
It was really gross. Like, I really hated every single moment of it, and I have something to say about it.
What?
Like, really strongly.
What you got?
Okay. The title of this episode is Calling Kaepernick,
Yes.
right?
Calling.
Kaepernick. Hey, Calling Kaepernick. And so here we are. I want to talk about Colin Kaepernick. Many of you might remember him as the, what disgraced, I guess, is probably what he's been titled as at this point.
Yeah.
49ers quarterback, San Francisco. Remember sports, guys, in the NFL?
You guys remember football?
You guys remember football when people cared?
Yeah, he was doing the like peaceful protests.
He was.
And just kneeling. Wasn't ranting on the field
Nope.
about anything.
Wasn't even really ranting off the field, apart from giving his very educated and intelligent point of view.
Like, why are you kneeling? And
here's what it is.
This is what I feel. It's injustice. I
am protesting police brutality.
Yeah. And that's all he was doing. He wasn't wearing anything specific. Like it wasn't affecting the game.
No.
But his doing that affected a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like my father, for example.
Okay.
Who was in the military, who fought for our freedoms. And that's where my dad and I disagree, where like my dad feels like he needs to stand for the national anthem because I fought for his freedom. And it's like, right.
That's not it.
His freedom to what?
Yeah.
Stand and kneel.
Absolutely. To peacefully protest.
To peacefully protest. Like you fight for that freedom so people have the freedom to do that.
Absolutely.
So I hate what happened to Colin Kaepernick.
So on the flip side of it, you know, I come from a biracial family where my mother is white and my father is black. And if you're wondering, I'm adopted. So where they both have protested, you know, injustices in the interracial community. There was a time when they got married, there were states that you couldn't legally wed as a biracial couple. My parents, I am 39 years old.
It's gross.
I am only 39 years old. My parents experienced that.
That is gross.
And so it really
makes me sad.
It doesn't just make me sad. It makes me very angry. It makes me very, very, very angry because I went to that rally with you. I saw people waving flags that are symbols of hate in our country. I saw people, and every single one of them was white. And I'll say that as a white woman. Every single one of them were white. And what are they protesting?
People getting back to work.
Who?
It's my right to work.
Oh, it sure is. Who's right? Who do they want to go back?
They want all of us to go back to work.
Yeah, us, not them, right? So this virus has disproportionately affected brown and black communities all over the country. There are only 20% of black workers in America that are allowed to telecommute. It's only 16% for brown workers.
That's gross.
That's disgusting. Now, I understand that there is a workforce and things have to get done and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. But like, we are experiencing the effects of, and we are watching structural racism in our country since the beginning of time, hundreds of years. I will pose a question to you, and I am really fired up about this topic because I know for a fact that had there been black or brown or anybody of the not the right color according to America's leadership, bigot leadership, if those people, they wouldn't have made it out of their car with their AK-47s.
Yeah.
They'd have been shot, period.
I mean, did they have AK-47s?
Yes. There are people on the set. No. There are people.
AR-15s.
Whatever. I don't care what they had. Does it matter?
I mean, a little bit, but like, yeah, I see what you're saying. But you're absolutely right. Like,
I'm not a gun enthusiast. I'm sorry. They're big fucking guns that look like machine guns.
BFGs. That's what they are.
Big fucking guns. Okay, so like I know, and I want to tell a story, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I want to tell a story about Christmas in 2012, where my father and my mother came to my home. I had my first child, Luke, and my mom and dad are, like reasonably middle class. Like they're normal people. My mother is white. My father is black. They're pulling up to a fairly nice home. That's what I live in. I had just had my son. It was Christmas Day. They got there, I don't know, late Christmas Eve, and that was their anniversary. And then Christmas morning, I'm cooking breakfast, and like I've got a baby, and everything's going on, and my dad is gone for like a while. And my dad comes in, and this was like the classy, gracious man that he was. He came back in and he told us a story, and it really happened, which is crazy. I was like, Daddy, why were you gone so long? And yes, I know. I'm like a 31-year-old woman calling my father Daddy.
I know.
It doesn't matter. You didn't know where I was going?
I know what story you're talking about now.
So like he comes back in and he's like, yeah, it was no big deal. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, the police just detained me for a minute. And I'm like, what? And he goes, right. So it was cold. He had a beanie on. He was wearing a dark jacket. It was the morning though. It was like, I don't know, 8:30, something like that. And he was just getting the presents out of the back of the car. He was getting wrapped presents out of the back of the car and bringing them into my home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's detained by police. And I wondered where he was, but honestly, it didn't really occur to me that it was anything until he comes in. And my dad nonchalantly comes in and tells me about his altercation with police. And I'll tell you, it could have ended a fucking lot differently. But my dad is cool as fuck. And there have been times I've been in the car with him when I was a young child where that's happened. And, the fact that people can't seem to see that if black or brown people were standing up protesting things like a living wage, things like healthcare benefits, things like paid sick time, if they did that, they're called thugs and degenerates. And if they brought guns, go fuck yourself. All those people would have been massacred. Tear gas, fucking riot gear, whatever.
It would be terrible.
Instead, you and I were able to park with the rest of the media. Most of the cops were on their phone.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. With their masks on.
With their masks on their phone, like a good 100 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
And that's okay.
And that's fine.
Let them protest. It's okay.
That's fine. Let them protest. But like, if they were black or brown.
Yeah.
100% we would see way more violence, and it wasn't because of the black or brown people. And that's what I can't seem to stress. Do you guys think when traffic stops happen, those ones that you see where they just get shot right there in front of their kids, right there in front of their spouse when they did nothing, when they complied, when the officer was so scared of the big bad black guy?
Yeah.
Like, you've seen that.
We've all seen those videos.
What the fuck? Okay? They have machine guns. They have whatever guns. They have
BFGs.
Guns. Doesn't matter. They have fucking guns. Guns, people. On the steps of the Capitol building protesting. If those people were a different color, we would be outraged right now. And I cannot tolerate it. Like, I am so fucking over this. You're waving symbols of hate. Symbols of hate. I cannot even imagine. I just, like, I'm sorry.
I'm speechless because I was there Like, I understand your frustration. We've already had conversations about this. Like, I understand.
So here's what it is, right? These small business people are not the ones out there protesting.
No.
The ones out there protesting, telling America to get back to work, those are people who have a vested interest in you working so their businesses don't go fucked down the side from their investors, from whatever.
It's not we need to get back to work. It's
no.
We need
it's
you to get back to work.
Like, we need you to get back to work. My friend Camilla down at the Austin Tea Exchange, she is working every day. She's not hoping we'll get back to work because she can make more profit. She is. She's trying to save her business, but she's down there working every day.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ruth Chris.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to fucking bail out.
I own your stock, and I'm super happy that you guys doubled in the last couple of weeks, but like, fuck you. It makes me feel gross, and I don't own a lot. I own like 10 shares. So like, it just makes me feel gross that my stock has gone up $5 because this one fucking company got a bailout, where many of my friends here in Austin and other places.
Ruth Chris is not a small business.
That is not a small business.
But they're eligible because each store, I mean, if you recall back, I think it was like the second or so episode where I said, if you have, a business that has multiple stores, and it's those stores have under 500 people, you're eligible. That was the loophole. And I didn't even realize it then that was like, oh, so like
that's
big companies can do that.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So Lowe's, if you have under 500 employees in this location, you're eligible for it.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Exactly. Because I guarantee you that those people at Ruth's Chris, at wherever, they're not like, and then a Camilla at Austin Tea Exchange, she's not making $2 million a year.
No, she's not.
I'm getting all high pitched with my voice. I know. She's not over there going like, I'm going to cut my salary in half by 50%. Like, cool, but also fuck you if you're going to take government money about it. Like, here's the thing. They want you to go back to work because they don't want you to collect unemployment, because now you get an extra $600 kicker on top of it, and they don't want you to make too much.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, but like, this is white America, people. This is white corporate America. This is what we've all been hollering about. If you're a person who hasn't been angry until now, this is why we're all angry. Is because this patriarchal system of it's this way, and this is exactly what's happening now. They want us to go back to work so that they can collect their whatever $100,000 whatever bonus is. It's fucking ridiculous. Like,
they're not worried about us.
No, they want to be able to
about
afford
the workers.
No, they want to be able to afford the things that they own, like their Hamptons house, for example.
Yeah. Well, they also want to go get their hair done, and they want to go and get massages, and they want to live their comfortable life that was disrupted. Like, they gave it up for a little bit. Now it's like, okay, Lent's over.
Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm starting to look crazy. I need photos.
I need a fucking haircut. Like,
you need a haircut. I need my eyebrows waxed, bad.
But I'm going to do what I can to stay safe.
Fuck yes. Like, I don't care about my eyebrows. Are you fucking looking at my eyebrows? No.
Right.
No. If you are, okay? I'm just saying, like...
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Like, just enough is enough.
Can we just get over this pandemic?
Come on. Open your eyes.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Go do some research on past flus and pandemics like this.
Please.
There's the first apex, and then it goes down, and when it starts going down, everything opens back up, and it gets twice as bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everybody thinks they're safe.
Those are facts.
Everybody thinks they're safe, and they're not. We have to eliminate it completely in order to be able to go back to what we would call a normal life. But when we go back, it needs to be better.
It's going to be better. It has to be.
We have to make this better now.
Absolutely. I've been on a tear, which leads me into a segue about my really extreme wild emotions that I've been experiencing and working from home with a spouse. I don't know, 40 days in at this point. I don't know how long we are. We've talked about the la-di-da, right? Like the let's go on hikes and let's take each other on dates and let's get the kids involved. Like, let's be honest. Like, at this point, we've gained like 20 pounds, like both of us. We've really, honest to God, gained the COVID fucking 19. I know. And it's fine. Like we know.
We can do better.
We can do better. But we're used to being active, so we should be active differently. We also, though, need to think about
each
days.
other accountable.
We have to hold each other accountable.
Shooting
we're a team.
The filming and going on the hike. And do we need that third taco? Yes, I need that third taco.
Some days you do. Some days you do, Justin. Some days you do, and you're like, cool, what are you going to give up for it?
Right.
This is that moment where whether you're employed or unemployed, that you have the opportunity to hold your spouse accountable like you would a teammate. You know, if someone asked you to hold me accountable, I did that to you. I was like, hold me accountable. And my jeans, I can't button them. Like, fuck. You know?
I think I do a decent job at holding you accountable. I mean, especially when it comes to filming.
I think you do.
Like push for that.
I think you really do. And I appreciate you.
So you do the same for me.
Hold each other accountable. You'd hold your team accountable if you had one, if you're unemployed, if you still have one, but they're not with you. Hold each other accountable. It's a great way for you guys to develop communication. It's actually great for your relationship, but it's really great for helping you get motivated. Especially if you're not going to get like pissed off about it.
I agree.
Which you might sometimes, and you're just going to have to.
Yeah, but just understand it's not an attack. It's a motivation. It's what you asked, and it's what you need. Yeah. Especially if you can't keep yourself motivated and you can't find that within you.
Yeah. So, which is interesting that you said that, because I want to talk about the next show. This was kind of an abbreviated show with not a lot of guests or anything like that. And the next show, we've got all the guests, which is great. And we're going to talk about workplace bullies.
I like that. I think everybody has experienced some sort of workplace bullying. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
And we're going to have the Brady Bunch of the peoples.
We are going to have
space.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. It's going to be a new segment, I think, on our show. And we're going to try to do it regularly with Madison Butler, Bree Bird, Nina Grove, CJ Kennedy, Blaine Stark, and Katie Mitchell. A no holds bar from leaders who are, a bunch of people.
A bunch of people.
A bunch of people.
Including your very own.
Yeah.
Not the HR lady.
Not the HR lady and not the HR guy.
I'm not the HR guy.
So, hey, happy 420.
Happy
it won't
420
be 420 when
everybody.
this gets released, but happy 420.
Happy 420. So don't forget, please like, comment, share, all the things that help us get our stuff out. Don't forget to go over to our website.
Yeah, check it out.
NotTheHRLady.com. For more updates, 15-minute kid breaks.
Behind the scenes stuff.
Behind the scenes takes and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Tara Furiani.
And I'm Justin Boggs. And this has been Not the HR Lady.
See you next time. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Not the HR Lady.
Engage with us on any social platform at Not the HR Lady and visit our website for more people stuff at notthehrlady.com.
New episodes are out every Wednesday and Friday. We'll see you next time.
Bye.